Dear students, welcome to another online class. Today we are discussing about linear independence, basis and dimension of a vector space. Our today's objective is to revise what we have learned in the previous class, and the topics we will cover today are linear independence or dependence, spanning a subspace, basis for a subspace and a dimension of a subspace. So we'll see what all these things, and this is very important as we consider the linear algebra. Now, revising what we have learnt in the previous class, we have seen the solution of a system of linear equation Ax is equal to b if the number of equations is less than the number of variables, that is m is less than n. What we have is the entire solution will be x complete is equal to x particular plus x a null space, where x particular is the particular solution for Ax is equal to b, and x null space is the special solution using the free variables. So to do that one, how to do that one, we have to go for the row reduced form of a given vector. So first we have to convert it into echelon form or upper triangular matrix, and the steps to convert to row reduced form is to make all other entries in the pivot columns to 0 except the pivot element using the row operation. Once this is done, you have to go for scaling the pivot element to 1. So you will get the pivot columns, if you combine together, it will make an identity matrix, and the rank of that matrix is given by the number of non-zero rows of U or R. It is the easiest method, or you can describe as the number of pivot columns in a row reduced form. So this is what we have learnt in the previous class. So today, coming to our first topic, that is the linear independence. So the definition is like this one. Suppose there are k vectors v1 to vk, and their linear combination can be written as c1 v1 plus c2 v2 plus etc ck vk, and it is given it is equal to 0. Only happens when c1 is equal to c2 is equal to c3 etc ck is equal to 0. If that happens, then the vectors v1 and up to vk are linearly independent. Remember, v1, the linear combinations of k vectors are 0 if and only if their coefficient is 0, then only it can be called as linearly independent. If any c's are non-zero, if any one of the c becomes non-zero, then the vector v's are linearly dependent. In this case, the one of the v in this one can be written as a linear combination of other vi's. For example, if you have c1 v1 plus c2 v2 plus c3 v3 equal to 0, I can write like this: c1 v1 plus for example, I will consider two vectors for simplicity, c2 v2 equal to 0. In this case, c1 v1 plus c2 v2 equal to 0 happens if and only if c1 is equal to 0. c1 is equal to 0, comma c2 equal to 0. In this case only if this happens, that is 0 into v1 plus c2, 0 into v2 is equal to 0, then this is a trivial solution, right? c1 and c2 is equal to 0 is a trivial solution for a homogeneous equation. If this is the only solution, we don't have any other solution, then only it is linearly independent, otherwise it is linearly dependent. For example, if v2 is given as minus v1, the equation itself says that v2 depends on v1, right? So this should be dependent equation. So if you substitute here c1 plus c2 into minus v1, c1 v1 plus c2 into minus v1 is equal to 0, which says that c1 is equal to c2. So if you substitute c1 is equal to 1, c2 is equal to 1, then it will be 0. If you substitute c1 is equal to 2, c2 equal to 2, then also it is 0. So except c1 equal to 0, c2 equal to 0, other solutions also you have, right? So this means that V1 and V2 are not independent, they are dependent, and here itself we can see that V2 depends on V1. So here another more thing is the V2 is represented as a combination of V1 minus 1 into V1, right? So if any one of the vector in this one is a linear combination of other vectors, then it is dependent, one condition. Or if the entire linear combination is equal to 0 other than for this combination, for example here C1 is equal to 1, C2 equal to 1, this is 0, right? So in that case also this is linearly dependent. Otherwise, if only in this case C1 is equal to 0, C2 equal to 0, if V1 and V2 are not related, then this will be 0 only if C1 is equal to 0 and C2 is equal to 0. That's why it is called linearly independent. But how to check this one? We will see some special conditions where it becomes dependent and where it becomes independent. Then based on that we can generalize the concept. So first one is, if any vector Vi is a 0 vector, then all the vectors are linearly dependent. I am giving an example here. We have two vectors V1 and V2. The first vector is 1 and 2, the second vector is 0 and 0. Now are they dependent or independent? Now if you see, this is not a multiple of this, but still this is a 0 times this one, so this is a multiple. So this V2 depends on actually V1, so it should be independent, but we will prove it mathematically. We have to take C1 V1 plus C2 V2 is equal to 0. That is what the linear combination of the vectors C1 V1 plus C2 V2 equal to 0. Now that is nothing but C1 into 1 comma 2 plus C2 into 0 0 is equal to 0, which means that either C1 plus 0 equal to 0 or C1 equal to 0. So C1 is always 0. But if C2 is always 0, then it is linearly independent. But here C2 can take any value. For example, if you put 5, so C1 into 1 plus C2 into 5. Since C1 is 0, 0 plus 5 into 0, 0 only. C2, 2 C1, so C1 is 0, so 0 plus 5 into 0, 0. So C2 is not a 0 element. So according to the definition, if any C is not non-zero, so here one of the C is not 0, here one of the C is not 0, that is why this is linearly dependent. This is one of the case. Remember, if any vector in the vector series is a 0 vector, then they are linearly dependent. Next one, the columns of a triangular matrix are linearly independent. Remember, this is not dependent, this is the independent case. For a triangular matrix, the columns is the column matrices, column vectors are always independent. Why? Because we can consider this column as a first vector V1, this is the second vector 2 2 0, and the third vector is 3 1 3. Now linear combination is C1 V1 plus C2 V2 plus C3 V3 equal to 0. This is what we want, and we have to prove that C1 is equal to C2 equal to C3 equal to 0, and we don't have any other value for C1. So what we have to do, we have to solve for C1 C2 C3 using Ax is equal to 0. So if you see here, the third equation is 0 C1 plus 0 C2 plus 3 C3 is equal to 0. So 3 C3 is equal to 0 means C3 equal to 0. Now back substituting here, 2 C2 plus 1 C3, 0 C1 plus 2 C2 plus 1 C3, that is what 2 C2 plus C3 is equal to 0. Since C3 is equal to 0, we have 2 C2 is equal to 0 or C2 is equal to 0. And if you substitute in the first one, C1 plus 2 C2 plus 3 C3 is equal to 0, where C3 and C2 both are 0, you have C1 is equal to 0. So this combination becomes 0 if and only if all the C's are zeros. That is why we can say that if it is an upper triangular matrix, the elements or the vectors, the column vectors makes a linear independent combination. So this is an example for linear independent situation. The previous one was an example for linear dependent case. So in the previous example, how many number of pivot columns? What are the pivot columns? What are pivot elements here? So this one is a pivot element, that is why this is a pivot column. This is a pivot element, so this is another pivot column, and this one is another pivot element, so this is a pivot column. So how many pivot columns are there here? 3 pivot columns. If the number of pivot columns is equal to n, or the number of variables, or if the number of free variables, so is there any free variables here which is not a pivot column? No, nothing is there. So if the number of free variables is equal to 0, then the columns of that matrix gives a solution C1 is equal to C2 equal to C3 equal to 0. That is nothing but the columns of A are independent exactly when n of A is equal to 0 vector. So null space, if it is a 0, the solution for null space is only 0 is the possibility, then that is an independent combination. So the R non-zero rows of an echelon matrix U and a reduced matrix R are linearly independent. So are the R columns that contain pivots. So here how many columns are there? How many? First case is non-zero rows. So what are the non-zero rows? This one, this is 2. So these 2 rows, if you take, they are linear combinations. But so far we have studied about columns, right? In terms of rows we haven't seen this one. So in terms of columns, if you want to see, what we have is like pivot columns. Which are the pivot columns here? So if you see, this is the echelon form, this makes the staircase. So this is the pivot element, the first element, and then this is the second one. So this is the pivot elements. Now this is a pivot column, this is another pivot column. So if you take these two, they are linearly independent, and the remaining are linearly dependent on this one. For example, if you see here, 300 can be written as a 3 times of 100, means if this is V1, if this is V2, V2 is 3 times of V1. So we can write the second column as a linear combination of first column, means it is linearly dependent. So which are linearly independent? The pivot columns are linearly independent, and the other columns are linearly dependent on pivot columns. Here 210, if you want to, you can see that it is the linear combination of these two. You can check that one. Pivot columns. So this is what the second condition. The third condition is a set of n vectors in R raised to m must be linearly independent if n greater than m. So what is n? N is the number of variables or number of columns, and m is the number of equations or number of rows. So here m is equal to 2 and n is equal to 3. Number of variables are 3 and number of columns are 3, and number of rows or number of equations are 2. So here n is greater than 3 is greater than 2, so that is why n is greater than m. Then it should be linearly dependent if m is greater than n, if it is a rectangular matrix, or the number of variables is more than the number of equation, it should be linearly dependent. Remember this one. If it is not a square matrix, if it is a rectangular and n is columns is greater than rows, then it is linearly dependent. No need of thinking for much. We can directly tell that the vectors elements are linearly dependent. So here a random example is taken. A is equal to 1 1 2 3 1 4 are the vectors. Now if you directly see, you cannot find any relationship between one column to another one, because this is 1 1, this is 2 3, and this is 1 4. You can do the row reduced form. Before that, echelon form we can make. Echelon form is R2 gives R2, because this is 1 which we have to make as a 0. So 1 minus 1 will be 0. So that's why R2 minus R1. So 1 minus 1 0. 3 minus 2 will be 1, and 4 minus 1 will be 3. Now since we got echelon form directly from here, this is the echelon form or U. Now we can make what are the pivot elements here? The first one is 1. This is another pivot element. This is not considered as a pivot element because this is the first one. Now this is a pivot column and this is another pivot column. So in order to make row reduced form, I have to make 2 as a 0, right? This one should be. So the operation I have to do is R1 minus 2R2. So you will get 1 minus 0 1, 2 minus 2 0, and 1 minus 6, that will be minus 5. So you got this one. Now this is a pivot column, this is another pivot column, and this is a free column. Now we know that the independent variable is the third one, right? So the free variable is the third one. So C1 and C2 are not free, they are pivots, and the last one is the free. So I can write C3 as 1 times C3, and C2, if you see, what you have to do, we have discussed this one in the last class. You have to take this matrix and change the sign and substitute here. If you bring this one to this side, that will become 5, and this one to the right side, it will become -3. So 5 minus 3, 1 will be one of the element in null space. So here n greater than m, so 1 free space we got. We may get 2 also, it depends on how the reduced form gets us a number of pivot element. So there is a solution, or there is another solution other than 0 vector. So what is the condition for null space? The column of exactly 0 vector means that is independent. Now it is not exactly 0 vector, we have something other than 0 vector. So this is a linear combination which can bring 0 without getting 0 here. If you put 0 here, anyhow that will be 0. 0 into something plus 0 into something plus 0 into something is 0. But it has other solution also, that is like this one. 5 into the first vector plus -3 into the second vector plus 1 into the third vector gives you 0. So here these two are, if you consider, the first one and the second one are linearly, this one as well as this one are linearly independent, but this one depends on the combination of these two. That is why this is not independent. So these three are not independent, but these two are independent. So how to identify from this one? We can generalize the thing. Wherever you get a pivot column, those pivot columns makes linear independent combinations. If anything other than pivot column is there, that brings the linear dependent part. Okay, so this is what you have to infer from this one. Now the second definition what we want is here. So this is clear about the linear dependency, independent and dependent combinations. Now the second definition what we want is spanning a subspace. This is simple. A vector space V consists of all linear combinations of W1 to WL. So here there are many elements W1 to WL in a vector space V. If any vector in V can be written as a linear combination of this one, then W1 to WL together called W1 to WL spans the vector space. We can say that W1 to WL spans the vector space. An example I can give, this is a matrix A, and it is a system of linear equation with the 4 variables u, v, w, x, or x1, x2, x3, x4. So Ax is equal to B is the equation. So B will get the linear combinations of 1 to 1 plus 3 4 2 2 3 6 and 2 to 5. These are the column matrices, column vectors. So B is a linear combination of this one, or otherwise I can say that the column space of A is the linear combination of W1, W2, W3, W4. So here 4 vectors are there. So any vector, any B in this one is a linear combination of these 4. And that is why we can say that these 4 vectors W1, W2, W3, W4 spans column C of A, or spans the vector space C of A. So it is simple. Just any linear combination which gives any vector in the space, then it means that those linear combinations spans that vector space. So nothing much about this one. Now basis for a vector space, this is very important. A basis for a V is a sequence of vectors. So it is many vectors are there in a basis. So those vectors who have the property they should be linearly independent, means their linear combination should be 0 if and only if the coefficients are 0, and they should span the space V. So basis of vector space V, so this is very important, it is not the general basis, this is the basis for vector space V. They are linearly independent and they should span the space V. So this we will understand for some examples. I have taken some examples. For example, the columns of identity matrix of size n by n forms a basis for R raised to n. So basis for R raised to n. So V is vector space is R raised to n. So for example, if R2 is a vector space, so R2 is x and y axis together makes R2. We have seen this one in GeoGebra, right? So any element in R2 can be written as a linear combination of the vectors 1 0, that is x only, and 0 1 y only, right? For example, a random point 2 3 can be written as 2 times 1 0 plus 3 times 0 1. So if you add these two, 2 into 1 plus 0, 3 into 0, that will be 2, and 2 into 0 plus 3 into 1. So in this one I can write in a matrix form as 1 0 0 1 is identity matrix into 2 3 is equal to 2 3. So identity matrix forms the basis. So always if give an example for basis, means the identity matrix and the columns of identity matrix are the basis for that one. If it is R3, then what are the elements? If this one instead of R2, if it is R3, the column elements will be, the basis will be, the first basis will be 1 0 0 because this makes the x component. Next y component alone 0 1 0, and the third one will be 0 0 1, that is the z component. So this entirely spans x y z, three components, and they are linearly, since we know that if it is a triangular matrix and diagonal elements are existing, then it is a linearly dependent combination. So that is why this is dependent as well as this, all three makes all the possible combinations of x and y and z. That is why this is a basis. So this is the elementary basis for R3. This is the elementary basis for 1 0 and 0 1 is the elementary basis for R2. So Rn, it will be n elements in a horizontal, and the number of rows and columns will be n. The another condition is the columns of any invertible matrix. If invertible matrix means its determinant will not be 0, because we know that inverse of A is adjoint A divided by determinant A. So denominator should not be 0, right? Otherwise, another condition is like instead of checking whether determinant is 0, you have to check these two conditions, whether it is a square matrix and the echelon form of U contains all diagonal elements, or the number of pivot elements is number of rows or number of columns, since it is a square. If that holds, then it is an invertible matrix. Then all the columns of that one forms the basis for the column space of A. So for example, A, the column space will be the linear combination of 1 4 5 plus 2 9 10 1 1 3. So we can say that these three columns spans A, because their linear combination makes a C of A, right? So this one spans the column space of A, vector space column space of A, or these three spans R3, because this is a three-dimensional matrix, so it spans R3 also, we can say. So C of A is nothing but a subspace of this one. Now if you do the row reduced form, R2 gives R2 minus R1 and R3 gives R3 minus R1, because here 4 is there, so I have to make this one 4 times, and here 5 is there, so I have to make 5 times. So 4 minus 4 times 1, that will be 0. So 1 to 1 is written as such. 4 minus 1 is 0, 4 is 0, 9 minus 8 is 1, and 1 minus 3, 4 times 1, 1 minus 4 minus 3. And here the next operation is R3 gives R3 minus 5 R1, so 5 minus 5 will be 0, 10 minus 8 will be 10 minus 10 will be 0. 3 times 3 minus 5 times 1, that is 3 minus 5 will be minus 2. Now if you see here, this is the U form, upper triangular form, right? So this should be, instead of A you can write here U. So U is equal to this one. Now from the U, from this one, what we can understand is that we have seen that upper triangular matrix always is linearly independent. If it is an upper triangular matrix, it is a linearly independent. So this, all the three spans C of A and they are linearly independent. So the bases are B1, the 1, 4, 5 is B1, and 2, 9, 10 is B2, and 1, 1, 3 is B3. So these three are the bases. Is that clear? So this makes a basis for the vector. So vector space C of A or R3, as we discussed earlier. Now the next condition is very important, that is, if it is a rectangular matrix, then pivot columns will be independent and they are able to span the column space, because they are which generates the remaining columns, free columns, right? Because free columns are the linear combination of this one. So they can span the entire column space. So they are independent, they span the space, hence they become the basis. So who are the, in a rectangular matrix, who are the, in a square matrix, if it is invertible, all columns are bases. But in a rectangular matrix, only the pivot columns, because they are independent and they are able to span the vector space, so the pivot columns makes the basis. So we will consider an example here: 1 2 1 2, 2 4 1 3, 1 2 1 2 2 3. So here 2, so R2 minus 2 R1, here 1, so R3 gives R3 minus R1. So first we will do this operation: 2 minus 2 0, and 4 minus 2 4 minus 4 0, 1 minus 2 minus 1, minus 3 minus 4, that will be minus 1. Now the second operation, R3 gives R3 minus R1, 1 minus 1 0, 2 minus 2 0, 2 minus 1 1, and 3 minus 2 1. Now we will do the next set. So we got a first pivot here, so this is the pivot we have. The next, we don't have pivot here, so this comes here. The next pivot is here, so this is a echelon form. So if you subtract here you have minus 1, here you have 1, so we have to make this one as a 0, so you have to add the second row. So R3 becomes R3 plus R2. So if you add 1 minus 1 plus minus 1 0 and 1 plus minus 1 0, because these two are 0 already, because these, if you add these two, that will become 0 and 0. So you have 4 zeros. And you can do the row reduced echelon form also. What you have to do is the pivot column element, which was 1, should be made it to 0 by adding this one. So the operation I have to do is R1 becomes R1 plus R2. So that is the first operation. Then I have to make this pivot element as 1 scale down by minus 1. So I have to divide R2 by minus 1. So first operation first, then this one. So doing that, you will get 1 2 0 1 and 0 0. Minus 1 is scaled by minus 1, becomes 1 and 1. So which are column here? This is a pivot column and this is another pivot column. These two are pivot, not pivot columns, they are free columns. So here, which are linearly independent? If you ask, these two columns are linearly independent, and this can produce this one, because 2 is 2 times of this one, and this can be obtained by adding the first and second. So these two are linearly dependent on these two. So any vector in this one will make a produce this C of A. So we have the first and third column, which are pivot columns. So first column is 1 2 1 and third column is 1 1 2. They are linearly independent and they can space C of A, span C of A. That is why the basis of C of A are the first and last columns. Now the last important topic is dimension of a vector space is simple. Before that I will define a term called a basis. Basis is nothing but the set of basis vectors. So here basis is 1 to 1 and 1 1 2 together makes a basis. Now any two bases for a vector space V contain the same number of vectors. So in the basis, if you the very important thing is for this one combination is 1 to 1 and 1 1 2. Similarly we can, this is R2, right, because it spans to a plane, that is why it becomes R2, because you have only two vectors. So you have many other combinations also, but the basis elements will be, if you do another combination also, you will get only B1 and B2, or if you reduce this one, you will get only two pivot columns. Another vector similar to this one you will get. So that is what it says. The number of elements in basis, here it is 2 in the previous example, will remain same for a given vector space. So that number of elements is called the dimension of V. So this is very difficult to understand. We can simplify that as a dimension of a vector space. C of A is nothing but rank of A. Rank of A is nothing but number of pivot columns in U or R. So in the previous example, what is the number of pivot columns? This is a pivot column, this is a pivot column. So number of pivot columns is 2, or number of bases is 2. So dimension of C of A will be 2. In this example, you have number of pivot columns is 3. So C of A will be R3, or dimension of this one will be 3. So that is the very important part. Dimension is nothing but number of pivot columns or rank of a matrix. So this is all about today's topic. Thank you.